Hey y'all, Bay here bringing you Captain Tsubasa Dream Team. It's a little bit late at night today, so I won't be able to talk as usual, but I'll be going over the new 5 characters evaluation, the part 3 Japan national team. Okay, first up is Takeshi. On the very right is this times 97 Takeshi, and in the middle is WI Takeshi, the guy with the team skill that boosts WI Japanese 13% or goalkeeper forward 13. And then on the very left is Dream Collection Takeshi. So if you compare this times 97 Takeshi to all the other good Takeshis that's existing, I personally think this times Takeshi is the best. And actually I think it's by far the best, because he has mid-area master, which will boost his stats by 15%, and as a result, all the stats becomes the very right cell. So his dribble exceeds 10k, his shot is only 9,400, but I don't think many people are expecting him to make a goal, so that I think is good. And instead he has a very high passing stats, 13,500. You know how strong this is? I think many of you have experienced playing against or playing with 2018 Pierre, and you know how strong that guy is. But that guy is actually around 12k even with mid-area master. So this dude is exceeding that Pierre, who is supposed to be already really strong, by over 1,000. That's how strong this guy's pass is. And about dribble, he exceeds 10,000, but it's only like 10,149. But that 2018 Pierre has around 10,300. So the difference is only little, although Pierre is better. So if you think about that, I think this Takeshi is gonna be really strong when he's in mid area. When he's OMF or DMF, which means he will be in mid area for most of the match, right? So it really makes sense. And even on the defensive side, he exceeds 10k for interception, and interception is something really important compared to tackle or block. I personally think interception is the most important defensive move. Okay, so that really is good. And he has hidden abilities. First one is auto intercept. I think it's 100%. It doesn't say the percentage as you where it normally should say, but it says when he's in mid area, auto intercept enhance will happen, which means I guess it's gonna happen 100% as long as you're in mid area. And it makes sense because his passive is mid area master, and with that he has 10,000 and above interception, and with this stat he's gonna be able to use auto intercept enhance no matter what, which is good. And then his second hidden ability is 5% boost to skill Hyuga only. So it's more limited compared to Dream Collection Takeshi, because Dream Collection Takeshi was able to boost Hyuga by 5%, 100% with whoever the Hyuga is, whether JY, Fast or whatever. And on top of that, by 50% chance, he might get additional 5%. So in terms of boosting Hyuga, of course Dream Collection Takeshi is better, but this time's Takeshi will boost Hyuga if he is skill 5% for sure. And he also does Japanese 1% on top of that. So if you think about all this, and if you think about how strong this Takeshi himself is, I personally think out of all the Takeshis that exist, this guy is the best. And moreover, the main skill he has, the S pass, is the best passing skill in the game for Takeshi. It's 415. It doesn't look that strong, but if you look at Dream Collection Takeshi's pass, which is also an S pass, it was only 385 at max. For an S skill, 385 at level 99 is really weak. So if you compare to that, this 450 might still look weak, but it's the best. Yeah, and also one more thing that's bad about Dream Collection Takeshi is this guy's passive is JY Japan Link, Japanese JY Link 10%, which means I think, at least for now, it's really hard to construct your team with just Japanese JY characters. So I doubt there's not many people that's boosting this Dream Collection Takeshi 10% fully. Yeah, I don't think everybody can use all JY Japanese. I mean, if that happens, your goalie will be like the initial Wakabayashi, right? Or initial Wakashimazu, which is not good. So I don't think there's almost no one can do this. So if you think about that, it says on the very right cell of Dream Collection Takeshi that his pass will be 11,826, but that's only when he gets 10% fully. So if you think about all that, right, the difference will even be bigger. So yeah, of course, for those who are using Agility Japanese team, you have no choice but to use Dream Collection, and this Dream Collection Takeshi is still good. I'm not saying this is bad, but I'm just doing comparison, and I want you guys to understand easily how good this Takeshi is. So that's why I'm doing this comparison. So yeah, this Takeshi for sure is good. One thing that's not that great about this Takeshi is his team skill. It's Japan 12%. This team skill is not bad. I'm not saying this is bad, but today all the new 97 characters are getting like 8 or more, and you get 15 no matter what, or like 17, right? Compared to these high percentage skills, this 12%, which was already existing from 2018, or like full body stand Tsubasa, these characters have like same or better boost for Japanese, right? So comparing this to other team skills, I have to say this is not a good team skill. Yeah, of course, some people might need this more than other team skills. It really depends on what kind of team you're going with, what kind of character you have, of course. So I can't exactly say who is the best character to everyone. You know, it really differs. It really differs and varies. So, yeah. But this Takeshi should be the best Takeshi out of all the Takeshi that exists. And next up, I'll skip Wakashimazu and go over it afterwards at the end. Okay, so Matsuyama. On the right is this times 97, and on the left as a comparison is Dream Collection Matsuyama. The reason why I picked up Dream Collection is because these two are similar in terms of high tackle stats. Okay, so this times Matsuyama, what's bad or hard to use is he's super sub. So you can't use him in the first half. Well, you can, but the stats will go down drastically by 20%. Well, it's not gonna go down. I should put it that his stats will be normal, right? But with this 20%, his tackle will exceed 13k. And how strong this 13k is, Dream Collection Matsuyama, who is like one of the best tackler in the game, is 13.5k. So the difference is only like 400 or 500, right? So this guy is good, and this guy's main tackle skill is the same strength as Dream Collection's tackle. It's 490 at level 99, which is like OP strength, right? And on top of this guy's interception exceeds 10k as well, which Dream Collection doesn't, even if his passive is fully on, which is forward or OM, F or AM killer, you know? So, and he's already strong, and his offensive dribble is pretty high too. And also his pass, it doesn't reach 10,000, but it's around like late 9,000s, which is good. So even after he gets the ball, he might be able to dodge the opponent forwards or AMs. And that's how good this Matsuyama is. Of course, you can only use him from second half, but yeah. And for a super sub character, this guy's stamina is really high. It's 1,152, which is really high, because super sub characters tend to have like less than 10,000, 1,000. So yeah. But one thing that's awkward is one of his hidden ability is tenacity, which doesn't really make sense because he's super sub, he has really high stamina, but he has tenacity. And I don't think many people will be able to use up his stamina up to tenacity. So yeah, well, one thing is his tackle is really stamina. It takes up a lot of his stamina. So maybe probably the point is you can like forget about the rest of your stamina and just keep using tackle, which is really strong, I guess. And the second hidden ability is Sweden Killer 20%. So this is also it's really limited. It means, I guess, mainly to use against Levin or Larson. And Larson is a really good dribbler. So, and he's red. So it really makes sense. It's like saying it's a Larson killer today, right? So that's good. And the third one is full power gauge up 10%. So this came out from the second year, and some characters have it as a passive, some has it as hidden ability, and 10% is pretty good because Misugi, who had this as hidden ability, only raised 5, so it's double Misugi's boost, which is good. And like I said, he is able to dodge opponent forwards with his stats, I think. So this might be really useful. And last but not least, he has Tsubasa Aoi Sano boost 3%. So his agility, right? Especially for Tsubasa, this guy is gonna be really helpful because if you successfully got Tsubasa, Ishizaki, and this Matsuyama, right? Not only the team skill links and their types link, Ishizaki and Matsuyama altogether will raise Tsubasa by 8%. 8%. Today, if you use 17% team skill, 2 of them, and then 15 for 1, that's gonna reach 49%, right? On top of this, 8% will go on. That's 57. And if you use Roberto, it's gonna be 61. Plus, if you use Akai, it's gonna be 63. So finally, Captain Tsubasa is a captain, right? So yeah, this guy will be really helpful. And now Tsubasa's skydive is gonna be scary as heck. These Ishizaki, Matsuyama, they will help Tsubasa boost a lot, big time. Yeah, so I would say this Matsuyama is really strong, and his S tackle is 490. So as a result, his overall tackle stats will become like 64k, which is super OP. It doesn't reach Dream Collection Matsuyama by like 2000, but still, this 64 is really strong. I think if the opponent's shot is not that high, he'll probably take it with tackle. That's how high this guy is. Yeah, so this guy I think is really good. And then Aoi, is this guy good? Well, first of all, his shot visual is super cool. I might have to say this guy's shot is like the coolest in the game. That's how I like it. Yeah, and as for his stats, his Japanese link 15%. So if you do that, it's gonna be the right sell, and his dribble will exceed 10,000. His shot will be 12,500, and pass is around 10k. Yeah, so comparing with the left one, which is 2018 Aoi, who is said to be really OP, he's not at that level, of course, but he's pretty close. He's not bad actually, because if you think about if you think in depth about nationality link, you know, the gap between these two will slightly become closer, because today, like, the team skills that will boost everyone by 15% if you have more than 8 people with the same type and nationality are here. That means many people might use 3 characters that are not Japanese, like Roberto or Wyren, what have you, you know? So when that happens, if let's say someone puts 3 characters that's not Japanese, Aoi, 2018 Aoi will lose 9% from his passive. That means he'll only get a 21% boost, which will not bring his stats up to this high, right? Whereas this time Aoi, since his Japanese link is only 15, every time you lose a character that's not Japanese, you only lose 1.5 each, unlike 2018 Aoi who loses 3% each, right? That's like half. Not like, it's half. So like if you give a same example, putting 3 characters that's not Japanese, that's gonna decrease this guy's passive by 4.5. So he'll still get 10.5, right? So the gap between these two will be closer, you know, closer. So if you think about all that, the difference might not be as big as you think. Yeah. So this Aoi, I think, is really good, and of course his skill, not only it's cool, but it's strong. It's 475 at level 99, whereas 2018 Aoi's skill, non-stop rover shada, was 455. So the difference between these two skills is 20%. I mean 20, right? 20. So that will also make the gap less. Yeah. And overall, his shooting stats at max will be like 59.3k. Today, exceeding 60k is like a border, I think. So this guy won't. It's a bit less than 60k. So compared to top tier shooters, he might not be at that level. But this guy will definitely threaten the opponent goalkeeper. Yeah. So yeah, and also he can dribble pretty good and also pass. So there's also another Aoi that's green, that's Fest Aoi. Well, there's other Aoi that's green as well, but that's strong is Fest Aoi, I think. But these two characters, this time's Aoi and Fest Aoi, is really different because Fest Aoi is more defensive, midfielder but defensive, whereas this guy could do forward as well. So he's more offensive. So for those who have both Fest and this time's Aoi, you can just look at your team, and for example, if you have like 2018 Jito, Fest Ishizaki as a defender, maybe you might want to think of using this Aoi as an offensive character so that you could balance your team, you know? So it really, you can decide which Aoi to use by looking at the other characters in your team. Yeah. But I think this guy's not as good as 2018, of course, but pretty good. I think this guy's pretty good. Yeah. And for those who are using red Japanese team, using this 2018 Aoi, might want to get this time's Aoi. And well, if you only have one, that means if you give the skill, teach the skill, that means 1997 Aoi will disappear. So it's gonna be a hard call. But maybe if you know that you're going with red Japanese and you're going to be using 2018 Aoi, then it might be an option too. So that was Aoi. And then Misaki. So last field player is Misaki. On the very right is this time's Misaki. In the center is WI Misaki, the green one, who is also super sub. And on the left is Fest Misaki. The reason why I put Fest Misaki is because he's also red. Okay, so if you put this time's Misaki as a super sub, he gets 30% boost. And as a result, it's the very right sell. Oh, this guy's gonna be really strong. He is gonna be a game changer for sure. Even compared to the center Misaki, green Misaki, who was already super sub, even compared to this super sub, this time's 97 Misaki, I think, is better, way better, because the difference between these two is WI Misaki was more edgy on shot. Although this guy is only OMF, he was edgy on shot, and Misaki has Senko, what's the name? Flash Raiju, right? Which is the best shooting skill in the game. Of course, it's harder to use because you need 3 characters. It takes up a lot of your stamina and stuff, but it is strong. So if you put those together, this center's green Misaki would be really strong shooter. But the thing is, both of them have really low stamina. So if you do Golden Duo A, you might not be able to shoot Flash Raiju without full power. So I'm using this WI Misaki, but then I'm having really hard time to use him because if opponent comes to you, matches up against this Misaki, I have to use at least 60 of my stamina, and this 60 is gonna be really important for this Misaki, because at the end you might not be able to do other move because of this 60, right? So it's really hard to use this guy as a shooter. I noticed after using him as a shooter. So compared to that, this time he's more edgy on dribble and pass. They both exceed 13k, which is really strong, right? So if you take those things into account, I have to say this time's Misaki is probably better than the initial Super Sub Misaki. Of course, like I said in the beginning, if you're going with green Japanese, the middle Misaki is the character to you because it doesn't link, right? The other ones. But other than that, right, if you're going with like mixed Japanese or like red Japanese, of course, I would recommend you to use this times 97 Misaki. This guy's strong. This guy's interception is even like at a really high level, like a really strong defender level, 12k. So yeah, this guy's good. Although he has a handicap as a super sub, but yeah, and also of course for same with all the other new characters, his team skill is also good, and yeah, and he's also main skill. I forgot the name, but it's 455 at max, and this is up to date the best passing skill for Misaki in the game. So even above Green Cup Pass, which many people are using today for Misaki, this exceeds that by like 15 at max. So yeah, this guy is also good. And last but not least, Wakashimazu. I think many people were really looking forward to a good Japanese red goalkeeper because there wasn't many, like, you know, there was no FES Japanese goalkeeper that's red. There's only like Wakabayashi and Wakashimazu that's strong in this game. Morisaki, he's good too, Dream Collection, but of course if you know the manga, Morisaki is not at Shimazu or Wakabayashi's level, and red didn't have these two characters, so I think many people were waiting for this guy. And to be honest, this guy I first thought is shitty because of his passive being full power gauge up, right, by 25%, which is the same as Red Akai 97. But yeah, because of this, he doesn't get any stats boost from the passive. His punching stats is 13,137, whereas look at the left one, which is FES Wakashimazu, and on the right is 2018 Wakabayashi. If you compare him this time's Wakashimazu with these two, against FES Wakashimazu, his punching stats is lower by like 1800, which is pretty high, pretty big, right? If you compare him with Wakabayashi 2018, with of course safety zone on, the difference is like 1200 or 1300, right? This is big too. So is a goalie that just came out losing to the past one that came out like half or more year ago, is this good is the question. And what's important for goalie is can you stop opponent's super OP 99 shot? That will be the main focus on when you look at the goalies, right? And because he doesn't have a stats boosting passive, people might think that this guy is weak. But I first thought so as well. But first of all, his main skill is the strongest out of all Wakashimazu, or even in the game. This 510 at level 99 is the best skill in the game together with PSGGK, right? But because of his stats being lower than other goalies, overall stats, even with this 510 skill, is 66,999. And if you look at the left, FES Wakashimazu, if he is against Asian character, he's overall stats with what is it called? Defensive punch, was it? Will be like 74.7k. The difference between these two is like big, like 7,000, right? But the thing is, unlike other goalies that recently came out, this guy will keep this 67k against anybody, you know, whereas like FES Wakashimazu or Wakabayashi, it really depends on who your opponent is. So this guy doesn't have that, first of all, and also he has this full power gauge up 25%. So with goalkeepers with punch, I think many have experienced punching opponent's shot, but then giving it again to opponent, right? You keep doing like 2-3 times or even more. And when that happens, although punching skill does not take up much of your stamina, at the end, if you're unlucky, you will lose all your stamina because, you know, your opponent keeps getting the ball, you know, after the punch. So but with this guy, even if that happens, what's good is he still gets 25% boost to the full power every time he blocks, right? So that's I think meaningful. So yeah, I wouldn't say this guy is an OP goalie or best goalie or anything like that, but maybe the message from Clab is he's red, right? And from second year and there's been this new passive or hidden ability that will boost the full power bar, right? And most of them are red. Misugi, Akai, and Wakashimazu. Of course there's Soda, but Soda is the only one for green, right? So maybe the message from Clab is try to use these red characters together and gain your full power. And then, you know, compared to the opponent team, this Wakashimazu will be able to use full power against opponents. So if you think about the critical, maybe that's why this guy is not as strong as the top tier goalies. Of course, utilizing this team skill, I mean passive, will be hard. You can't like calculate everything, you know, something that unexpected might happen. So it's gonna be hard, but if things go right, maybe this guy might be good as Fest Wakashimazu or Fest Wakabayashi, or even maybe better. I don't know. So yeah, I would definitely like to demonstrate this character if I get it, and see how this guy is. Yeah, but this time's well, everyone that came out as 97 I think is really strong. Yeah, it really depends on what kind of team you're going for, what kind of characters you have. Did you get red new team skill at part 1 or part 2? Then you should go for red team skill for part 3. Yeah, I think that's what matters. It's not like you can't just directly compare these characters and say this guy is the best one or things like that. Yeah, it really depends on people. I mean, it's up to everyone else. I mean, people, you know, what kind of team you have. So yeah, that's it. Sorry for the long video. It's 27 minutes, almost 28. So I'll stop right here. I think I was able to cover everything. Please do subscribe for those who haven't yet, and stay tuned for my next video. I'll be doing gacha transfer and PvP to demonstrate all the new characters as much as possible. So stay tuned. All right. Thanks for watching, and bye.